Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, my people. There are some videos I wanted to share with you guys, and I forgot actually. So I shared them now, so you can have access to them later. Guten Abend, Chiko Kereke. Good evening, Ezioku. Good evening. Yeah, it was not a very good day yesterday. There were so many things happening, so many things that we can't have any there's nothing we could do about it. It's beyond us, it's beyond our control, so we have left it for the creator. you know and yesterday I did a video on this brother that does able media, and he's using his work to showcase everything that is going on in the southeast, particularly the good things, the landscape, the terrain, the people, the cities. Talk about somebody projecting a region in very good light. That is able media. And everything he was doing didn't mean anything to the people from the region, that he was actually trying to highlight the beauty and the richness of the region. And the urchins that they unleashed on the region took him out, because they needed his drone, they needed his equipment, they needed it to make better pictures for their propaganda, and they took him out. Good evening, Smiler. Good evening, Ugo. I greet you. Adeshitu, I cite you. Ezioku Mendes, you're welcome. Acho, I see you. Rabiu, you're welcome. Sani, I greet you. James, I greet every one of you. So, and the news was actually the whole time online. But there were always refutations. They say, oh, it's fake news, it's not real. And I just kind of, time will reveal everything. So eventually it turned out that it was true. So the news we're also hearing is that Davido and Choma was not at home at the time that it happened. And so one version, good evening, Chike. One version is saying that um, he was alone at home with the nanny, and then was just pressing her phone, left the child unattended. And another version is saying that the nanny was with the child, and then the chef that cooks came, and she left the child with the chef to go and receive a call or something like that. And before she came, yeah. So there are two different versions. A version from the neighbor that went there. She said what the gate man told her is that the girl that was supposed to take care of him was sitting somewhere pressing phone, and it kind of lost consciousness of where the child was at that very time. And another version had it that they were having back and forth between the chef and the nanny. Good evening, Oluchi. I greet you. Yeah, so my people, you're welcome. What happened to Davido? Because he's a celebrity and because he's someone that is in everybody's eye, I'm thinking that, when something like this has happened, it's not as if things like this are not happening, but when it's happening to a celebrity, someone of that popularity, I think it's also bringing to light something that is always there, but people are not taking note of it. And one of it is this issue of swimming pool. You know, swimming pool. Of course, if you are rich, you can go and have swimming pool. You can have water in your house and everything. But people fail to realize that that swimming pool, even for adults, is all the quite risky. That swimming pool, and many times people just put it there. They don't put any fence. There's no enclosure. Like almost there's no barrier that anybody can just come and walk into it. You go and use your own hand to go and put something that will, not bring you joy at the end of the day. And it's not just a swimming pool. My growing up in Nigeria and being exposed as much as I am now, one thing you can be sure of is that Nigerians are not safety conscious. And Nigerians are not safety conscious, or that thinking, that mentality of being safety conscious is not something that is part of how Nigerians think. For example, in designing their house, in building their house, in decorating their house, in the kind of things they put in their house. Being safety conscious is not one of it. It is never one of it. Good morning, Erobeni. People are barely safety conscious. Especially with the children, like back in those days, somebody would just like, I'm going to the market, or your neighbor, you don't even know, you just carry and go the whole day, like we were just surviving at the mercy of God. Like, for example, in the village, we will just be going in groups. We'll go to the river. Like, we will go to the river. Nobody is there. No adult is supervising us. Nobody is even teaching you swim. You will just be using your eye, because you self now, you will be trying your best as a child, and you don't even want to know. Every year you hear that the water took one child or the other, because we want to explore, but there was nobody there. So that this culture of, say, minding a child is recent. Naturally, Nigerians are not that safety conscious when it comes to, protect this, keep this in place, or something like that. And you will see it in the way they decorate their house. And for example, I'll tell you this story. I went to visit somebody, and the house was very beautiful. very, very good, decorated. And there was this massive glass table on top of, in the middle of the living room. Like, this it was fanciful, it was decorative, and it was there. And I saw that table. I was like, this table, how can you have this kind of glass table where you have children, you know? But it was in vogue, it was beautiful, and man, you can afford it. Why not put it there? And by the next day, you can't believe what happened. I didn't even know that it's like something. How can I describe it for you? It's like, let me use something like this. That glass was something like this, two how will I put it? Two bars, and then there was one that was the glass itself was something that was put on top. And I didn't even know that it was not screwed. I thought, like, normally you would think that it was screwed, it was um first, like, hard on the whole, like the whole thing is built together, that they are one. Not knowing that platform, that glass was just kind of placed on it, that it could move, like it could actually move and fall. And I didn't even know that. But when I saw that glass, it struck me like this is problematic, And before you know it, the children started playing, and they jumped up and down, and one tried to climb the table. Boom! That platform that was stand put like this, it fell like this, and he fell on the leg of my son. My little son at that time was like 2 years. Say, God, what is happening? Eh? Like, I was barely like say, this thing is not safe. How can you put glass center table in a house with children and look at. And what I was saying is like, what is this one saying? This thing is fine, it's in vogue. So why am I saying this story? It's how it happened to me. So Nigerian people, they just look at what is in vogue, what is fashionable. And I feel like when something like this has happened to a celebrity, it's time for us to think. The things that you are bringing and buying and putting into your house and using it to decorate your house, and you want to use it to live your good life, you have to reassess it. Do you really need it? Did you the necessary precautions? You know, and do you know, like, some people, like, you go to their house, you will see their center table like this. It will be glass, and the edges will be pointed. Like, any contact with that thing is an injury. Like, like, it doesn't come into the consciousness that their children know, these things can happen. Can a lot of things can happen. And then the issue of water. Like, you can put a pool cover, and even you can put a barrier, like, a gate, like, and lock it. You can also put an alarm, like, there all this alarm, security, that just when the child is moving where it's not supposed to move, the alarm goes off. And then you are getting it, even you yourself, wherever you are, like, you're at work, you get the alarm that something is going on. Like, you're in another room, and if the child moves to another place, you will hear the alarm. So there are so many ways you can. But the first thing is, you have to be thinking. Exactly. You have to be thinking safety first. And if you want to have a pool in your house, then as you are giving birth, start swim. The child is already learning to swim as a baby. As a baby, there is baby swimming. From baby, the baby will be swimming. Like, by the time the baby is like 4 years, he's already 2 years, he can swim. Like, he can actually float on water. And that's why you see, for example, all these riverine communities, you see a child walking majestically, and water is on the whole place, on a bridge, no fear. Because even if you fall inside that water, fear, it will come out again. Because if you want to have something like that, and you are thinking safety, then you have to train your children immediately, swimming immediately, and they will be able to swim. Me, I'm only able to swim because back in those days, we just go to the river. If the water carry you, they don't carry you be that. If the water no carry you, it keep you. Then that will say, by all means, you will learn how to float by force, because as you enter that water, now you and your God, your mama no dey there, your papa no dey there, because they will just be on our own. We'll go there. So if anything happen that day, na story, you don't go. If you go do challenge, back in those days as children, we used to go inside the river. We'll go and challenge ourselves. We even go to where the current is very hot. We'll be challenging ourselves. Who will swim here? Who will swim where? You don't know the kind of things we did as children. Nobody was there supervising us. Like me, I went to climb on top of the bridge. We were challenging who will swim, and now from that bridge, and now jump inside that water. Hey, guys, you know, like it was serious, you know. And that time, I went to visit my aunt, my dad's sister. And so I went to the stream with the children in there, in that, and I was kind of bossy, like, me too, I can swim. And they say, yeah, they are doing challenge. And the challenge is they are going to stand from the bridge and jump inside the water. Ah, I I went on top of the bridge and I jumped inside the water. Not only me, many of us. And the funny thing is, the place you will land, the current is so the current is so high, like, very fast, like you can't even have any influence of maybe swimming against that kind. Like if you want to swim against the current, you will drown. So immediately, that, like, that safety, like natural will to survive, you will just go with the flow. you know so that was how I just kind of left myself, like, you can't swim against that current. Why? Because we're doing challenge, you know and that it was God that said, this girl, you will still be in this life. And then, I just kind of allowed myself, and the current just carried me. So when we were getting, and the current just took me, it was going around like this. There was like at the edge, and I caught hold of the grass, something like a tree, a twig. It was very light, you know. You understand? So, and it was there when we got home. I was very calm. I was unusually quiet. And my aunt was like, what happened? What really happened? I was like, nothing. Like, and then she went to ask the children I went to the stream with, what happened there? And they were not saying, wow, this girl, she jumped inside the drink, the water from the bridge. Auntie was like, what? Man started crying, like, oh my God, what will they say? What will they say? Oh, they call the whole am and say, wetin happen? Shebi na me dey here. They were now holding and say, hey, oh, hey, what happened? She said, oh, have you heard this guy? She went, da, 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 da. Me, I was just looking at them like, what is wrong with these people? Not even knowing that it was God that saved me that day, that I went to jump on top of, say, I see people that are doing all those things. And why? Because nobody was supervising us. We were just on our own, you know. And this is the reality of many children in Nigeria. The supervision is very low, and the children are just left on their own to be doing their own things. And then the people who think that they have money, they will be putting things in their house. And the design that I see in the house of most people, for example, like, there's something I never understand. Like when they build a house, like if you come into the living room, like the living room, we will be like, it will be flat like this, it will be like, yeah, it will be deeper, like it will be like you are coming from a higher platform, and then the place that will be like a living room will be a deeper platform. It's like you are going deeper, and there is no sign to tell you, be careful, something has changed, and you will just be coming, and you are going inside, and this is a fall risk. And people don't know that this is a fall risk. You know, the same thing with this tile. Normally, the tiles that they will put in bathrooms, Nigerians will put it in the living room, everywhere. You know, and I will be like, and they will even buy the most expensive one, the smoothest one that will be very smooth. And this is a fall risk. And out of that fall, you don't know the number of casualties of all the falls, because people feel that they are now rich, they'll not go and buy, things that will cause them to fall. And everybody will build upstairs, everybody will build everywhere, barrier. They will not even think that something can happen. You can be sick, you may not, you may have mobility issues. Even to lift your leg one step will be hard. You will need somebody to carry you. They are not thinking about that. They like everyday life is going to be jolly, jolly. So I feel like, why am I saying all these things? I'm not gloating, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying what has happened can throw a light in other things, that being safety conscious is a very important issue. That you can afford a swimming pool, you should also be thinking about the safety measures concerning swimming pool. And when you are getting children, your arrangement of your house should change. Your door locks should change. The door should not be what you can just pull and open, because it becomes a security risk, because the children, you can be sleeping, the child will open the door, is gone. you know so you have to put another latch up, so when you close the door, you put a latch on top, so that you can close it, so even if the child move it, it will not be able to, like, you don't know to the extent that children will go to overcome and do what they want to do. So you have to be trying your best. Of course, not you cannot know it all. Everything is not in our control, but you can try. You can try your best. That's just it. You can try your best. And this safety consciousness will help you. When you are safety conscious, you understand, you will try to secure the door lock, you know. And like, for example, your fridge, the places you put important things, there's a safety lock that children cannot just open it. You will make sure you put it there. You understand? So, for example, if they have that kind of door, maybe alarm can go off by the time they will open that place. Then even the person is not taking care, you will know. For example, here, like, there's something like fire alarm. When you are even cooking and the smoke is a little bit higher, like maybe you just want to fry something, you will hear the alarm going, beep, 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 beep. Because any small thing, it can, like, you have to be safety conscious, like, if you can afford it, you know so people are just decorating their house. They will decorate their homes with glass. They will not have child appropriate utensils. They will have glass bottles, things that will just be causing endangerment. It's God that is really shielding people and children in our Nigeria. Do you want to know how many other things are going on? Like, somebody will just say, it's because Davido is a celebrity, and so many wealthy people are buying swimming pool, and you don't know how many of them are having all these casualties, and you don't know how many of them are having all this fall because of the designs they put in their house. Some people, they will build a beautiful house, but everywhere barrier. They don't even think that one day you may need to push somebody with wheelchair, and there will be no possibility to push inside any room with wheelchair. You have to be thinking about mobility all the time. That you have to be able to be moving around in your house, even if you are rich. If anything happen, for example, you are incapacitated at any time t, that you are able to move in your own house. And that is being, thinking about the time, your life. So even though you can afford it, doesn't mean you should build upstairs, and then in every corner, you climb another step to go to the room, and climb another step to come down to the kitchen, and climb another step to go to the room, and you are bouncing. You think you are going to be in that stage every time, and all this step here, step down is fall risk. Old people, they will miss a step, wahala. Young people, children, they will miss a step, wahala. You know? Yeah. You see, our sister is saying people who don't have who have children are not also even supposed to have swimming pool, but who is checking it, when you are rich? That is why here, if anything like that happen, they don't want to know your status. First of all, you are the first casualty. They will take you, they will grill you, and you will be crying, say your pikin. No, they will be, they don't want to know, because they are feeling like, where is the justice for that child? They know, they look and say, now your pikin, they look and say, now an individual that you failed because of your negligence. So having the money and being able to afford things there are two different things. There was one that happened, decent glass table. Children, they were playing, and the glass, I don't know how the child put the hand in the glass, the thing broke and inside the child's hand. You think they are playing with the parents? They say, oh God, they say, you have children, why will you put glass? And especially this issue of glass is so common, you just put it in. Do you know, one time when I was babysitting, when I came newly, when I was still studying, I was babysitting for a family, a couple. They have two girls at the time, and I was in their room. So it happened that the wardrobe, here normally you go and buy the wardrobe, you build it together. It's not like somebody comes to build it. You follow the instruction and you put it together. It turned out that it's like the husband didn't put it well together, and I was in their room alone with them. And do you know, I don't even know what happened, why I was there. All of a sudden, this wardrobe was falling. Like, I was like, oh my God. I just kind of pushed the little girl. It was like a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old girl. And I kind of pushed them away, and I was just in front of the wardrobe, and the wardrobe kind of, fell on me. And as it was falling, it just kind of fell apart. And I was on the ground there, like I was like, God, what really happened here? And in my pain, because I fell with my back, and this little one that came and was stretching her hand, and like, and the bless, it was so sweet. I was like, oh, I was thinking I'm alone. I'm even with people here. So, and then it was crazy. So I was having body pains and everything there. And then when the parents came, I was like, the father was like, he just put this in. No response. They were not even talking about my own. They started quarreling, say big time, say, you are the one that put it. You cannot simple something, you cannot build. You say, you want to buy this. I say, thank God, oh, thank God that the thing did not pass like this. What will I say if to say this thing fall on top 1.5-year-old child? What will I say if to say this wardrobe fall on top of her? Who will not believe my even story? Because I'm the one alone with them in that room. Why? Because they are not thinking of safety consciousness. Something that you want to put in your children's room. Instead of you to go and bring a professional, you will pay them extra money. They will build that thing together very well. It will start very well. You are there managing, putting kwashoko, a carpenter that you did not learn very well. The thing you have not done before, you are not doing it to save how much. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing just fell apart, on top of blessing. I say, thank God, say, na like this, he reach. So these are so many ways that people don't think about the safety most of the time. So you have your own experiences, and you also have your own examples. Safety is a precautionary principle that people don't put into account. And I'm hoping that what happened to Davido will be a signature to many people. Say, be safety conscious, take it serious when you are designing your house. The kind of furniture you put in your house, the kind of things you bring in your house because you can afford it. Putting tiles all over your house, all over your living room is a fall risk. You people need to stop it. Every time I'm looking at, especially when I'm looking at all these Nollywood movies, and I'm seeing all these big house with all these tiles on the ground, I'm like, wow, it's a fall risk. Stop it. Because, for example, when you are in hotels and they will tell you this is a fall risk. They will put a platform there, and if anything happens to you, their insurance will take care of you. But when you're at home, you're on your own. Anything happens to you and you fall there, you will carry the risk. Some people will use their head to eat the ground. That's it. Some children, they will go and fall in all these steep step up and down. You think it is designed. It is not designed. It is not wise. You are not looking far. You are not going to be in the same state. And all the people that will come to your house are not going to be in the same state. Fit, strong, young, agile. You are going to have children. You are going to have elderly people. So when you are building house, for example, you will build where normal people can pass. Also build a pathway where something that is rolling can pass also. When you are building rooms, then you build room that is something that is rolling. Somebody that cannot climb stairs can also enter. When you are building toilet and bathroom, you also build the one that somebody that don't have all those possibilities can also enter. And then you don't have to use shiny slippery tiles everywhere. There are also other alternatives. Use things that have resistance so that your leg can have some resistance if it is a little bit wet. I remember when we were in my first year in the university, there was our one of our lecturer, and the first year they said he fell in the bathroom, and it was very funny to me. I was like, hey, person fall inside the bathroom again, turn to problem. I didn't have the sense that falling in bedroom, and which kind of bedroom are you even thinking the one with tiles and all those things? So it was a problem he was treating it, and eventually some years later he fell again in his house, and that was what caused him to pass. Because of his own design that he put in his own house, he fell. He built his house without considering fall risk. Good evening, Jerome. Yeah, wooden floors. But even if you don't have wooden floor, there is also a way to put resistance in the floor, not just looking for the shiniest, the slippery one, the smoothest one. There's a way you do things, and you put things that will edify you. And when you have children, you decorate in a way that children are always falling. Children are always having, like, if you have a house with stairs, there's a barrier you put at the door of every step. So when the child gets there, it doesn't just roll, you put it, that's you are being safety conscious. And you can only do so much, but you never know. Like one of my relatives in the US, the mom was going out to work in the morning. He just drove out, like going to work. She kind of went to her parking lot, not knowing that the little boy that is not up to 2 years is following her. So the lady just went to the parking lot to get her car, was just there. She has not even driven out. She was still sitting in her steering. This little boy, before the door will close, when you open the door and you are going out, she didn't like kind of stop and close the door. She just kind of opened the door, and this boy was supposed to be on his bed, and then she just kind of opened the door and was going. But before the door will close, the boy, bam, he had hold the door. He was looking. The mom went this way. He quickly ran out on this other way. He was walking. Where is he going? He just want to go somewhere. He was the person that found it was like he was even in a hurry. He was just going, walking majestically, walking, going. So a neighbor now saw this small thing walking on the road, like busy, even walking as if he's going somewhere. And then he now said, you think that he has seen, one white man was like, this is the child that the neighbor is always carrying, good evening. And then he now went to the small boy like, hello, where are you going? That man just look at him like this. Was just want to be going somewhere, So the man just heard him, Then the mother drove away or did not even know what is that. She said she saw that man with that child, so she didn't even think that is her child, So the man now held the little boy and was walking back where he used to see that the father normally takes him for a walk around that neighborhood. So he he know that there's a black couple here that have a little son. So the father was this life. The father was still in bed. Then they came to ring bell for him. He was like, well, who could that be? Is it the wife? She has a key now. And then he came to the door. Lo and behold, somebody was holding his son. His son that was supposed to be inside the room in bed in the US. Imagine, in the US. The man was like, what? Share, I'm dreaming. What is going on here? So the man was like, we just saw, I saw this, I saw him hurrying in a hurry to go somewhere. He was just walking. And then he was like, I think I saw this boy. I've seen you guys before. I see you. The man, like, the man couldn't say anything. The father was just like, this is how fast they are. Like, you can do everything right, but you don't know what they are thinking. So, and that was, how God saved that day for that couple, because a neighbor, yeah, I'm telling you, he was lucky. He's very lucky that he didn't call CPS. And the mother was like, they can't believe their eye, because the boy is a little boy. You can't even really talk. He's barely 2. He was not up to 2 years old. And the funny thing is, like, it was very funny because he was just small. He was just walking, like, he's in a hurry. He was happy. Where are you going? You don't even know. He just like finally out on his own, So that was how God brought back that boy. Since that time, that was now when they now went to learn, because you have a child, you have to always be looking back. Before you drive your car, as somebody that have a child, always look under, look inside, before you drive your car. So many things that happen. There are some children, they think that, I want to outsmart this person. They'll go and hide in a place you don't know that they are there. You don't even know. Now, God is a safe person, So many cases you don't want to know. That's why when you have safety in your mind, like when you are going out, you look back, as a parent, always look back. Look, did you close the door behind you? If possible, lock it. That's when they now decide to put a latch. They now know that there is a safety knob that the child cannot put down by himself, and then you know that before you drive, you look around your surrounding. You just have to be safety conscious, because at the end of the day, you can be, assuring to yourself that you did your best. You have done your own. I'm telling you. I remember I called somebody in Nigeria, and I was like, where are the children? I said they went to church. I was like, what? He said they went to church. Hey, they can go to church now. Hey, people go. I said, in this day and age, in everything that we are hearing, you are sending little children, like 9. The oldest one is 9. This one is 7. This one is 5. You say they should go to church. And what are you doing? You are lying down. Hey, they have children's service. They will go to children's service. Like, even with all the kidnappers, you put your children on the road, say they should be going on their own. And you wonder why the business of kidnapping is thriving. Why? Because people are not safety conscious. Yeah, only God knows, honestly. Only God knows. Only God knows. And I've seen a video of somebody that came out and said he made a prophecy and all those kind of a thing, and the prophecy came to pass. These are things. Once you have a small child, nobody needs to tell you things can happen at any time. Like today alone, so many things happen. Yesterday, so many things happen. But because it's a celebrity, that's how we are hearing about it. Like, if he was here, the first thing that they will be checking is what happened. They will be doing an autopsy, like not only autopsy, they try to determine, is it something that happened? Is it that the child died inside water, or whatever happened has already happened before the child was, like you that you are crying, they are not even looking at you as somebody that is suffering. They are like, here the mindset is the parent, everybody is a suspect, including the parents. That's the mindset here. So when they come into that kind of case, first of all, they want to determine cause of the buying, what time the buy happened. Then they will put everything together. And when they ask you, okay, what time, when they have determined it scientifically, they will not ask you what happened. You will not say your own. They ask you what happened. They will not try to put the story together and say, okay, this is the time that is, from the forensic evidence, they are calculating that this person passed. And you are saying as so time, so time, So if your story is not straight, you have to answer why you are not saying the straight story. And so they will establish there's no foul play. So once they establish there's no foul play, then the pity party will come in. But first of all, to erase any doubt that there's no foul play, they'll have to determine until when was what happened. Sometimes it can be that there's a trauma on the head. There's something that already happened before the person enter water. So you can say that primarily it is not the water that kpai the person, but the something that happened before the person enter the water. Okay. Okay, so obviously they just kind of lost guard, So they lost guard because people are very negligent. I don't even know, like, how can you be you can be minding somebody's children, somebody's child, and you will not you will not be afraid, I don't know how. But I'll tell you something that happened to me the first time I was doing babysitting. So I signed this contract that I want to help this family to babysit. So the first day, the very first day, I went to their place of business because they have gotten the kids. So I came to their place of business, and the agreement was I would take the kids to the playground and just kind of have activities with them until a certain time, and then the parents will be able to meet we go. I'll take them home, and then the parents will come home. So that was agreed, and I left with the children. So as we were just about going to the playground, I was like, okay, I want to go into there was a store by the road. I said, let's go into the store and buy some things, like some snacks, water, something like that. So I went into the store. I was pushing the kid because they were two. Like I said in my form, yeah, I said it. Two 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I was pushing the stroller, and the 3-year-old was holding it, and the small one was inside. So I kind of went into the store, and I bought the things that I wanted to buy, just a few things. Then I paid at the counter. Just when I finished paying, do you know that instant, because I was a young girl, I didn't have any child of my own. Do you know I forgot that I came with children? I'm telling you. I'm telling you, happened to me. Me. I forgot that I came with children. So, I just kind of pushed the cart there. I paid, and then I came to the other side, and I just put the things I bought in my in the little bag I have, and I just kind of dashed out. And everybody was like looking at me like this. Even the children, they were standing like this and looking at me. And me, I was just going and forgetting that I actually came with children. So when I now went out and I was standing at the nearby the store, there was a light, a street light. I was supposed to cross to the other side, towards the playground. So I was standing there and I was supposed to cross, and it hit me. Boom. I was like, "Yay, Mogbe!" I just quickly, and by that time, everybody was just looking at me like this. Even the children, they were holding, like, it was crazy. Like, when I still think about it, like, I can't believe it. I was like, they were just looking at me like, is this really happening? And they were just looking at me like that, and I just quickly ran back, and I just pushed the wagon and started going quick, 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 quick. and like I just kind of quick, 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 quick before if they call the police, before the police will find me, I was just running. I didn't intend to take any bus. I was not going anywhere. I was just supposed to go to the playground near there. But immediately I came out, I crossed to the other side of the road. I saw a bus coming. I took the bus because I was like, even if they call the police, that they will not find me. That was how I took the bus. I just kind of went and turned and did a turn around. I still get chills when when I remember this incident. But just for a brief second, but it happens. It happens. Eight-hour shift. No, 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 no. This one, I think it happened to me because I was a single person. I was not married. I didn't have children. And up until that time, I was just carefree. But, it was, when you're in Europe, you are trying to do something to earn a living. And this was something that came. So when I was standing at this, like my mind was like, okay, like, wow. Like the way the thing hits me, I just kind of ran. And by that time, everybody was already looking. I think this would have been within like 5 minutes interval, not more. Like 5 minutes interval. It was very brief, but the feeling still stays with me. Like whenever I think about it. And that was how I just kind of. And then at the end of the day, we kind of clicked. So since then, like I have this kind of feeling, like if I'm going anywhere, I'm always looking around. If before I'm alighting from a bus, I'm always looking around. Do I have everything? Okay, is there anything I'm missing? Like I'm always looking around, looking back. Is everything okay? That way, just in case I'm forgetting something. Great night, Oluchi. Great night. Yeah, I heard I heard such incident, and there's somebody told the story that there's someone that, like, this woman is a doctor, is a medical doctor, and it took her many years. She was trying to conceive, and then eventually she was able to conceive, and then she started working again, and that day she had a shift, and she forgot that she had the child with her. And then she went into the hospital, like our brother was writing, and did an 8-hour shift. And did an 8-hour shift, you know. But I don't know, like, I don't know if it can happen to me, as I think it happens to first time moms, first time child minders, and stuff like that. And one thing I do to control it, and I think it's a good practice if you have children, like if you plan with somebody, and for example, me and my husband, or your whoever is helping you with the children, if you agree that I'm going to pick the children at 4, make sure that by the time it's 4:05, 5 minutes past 4, you are calling. Do you have the children? Did everything go okay? Because by doing that, in case the person forgot, you know normally, I call twice. I call like maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the time. I say, you remember you are picking the kids now? And yeah, 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 sure, sure, okay. And then like 5 minutes pass, I say, have you got them? Is everything okay? And that's how you help each other, like in case. Because for example, if your husband is supposed to carry the children to work, and then he gets to the car park and he forgets, if you call him as he's getting into the office, say, now how did it go? Was it a problem for you dropping him at the kindergarten or at the school? And they're like, yeah, he will rush back. But if you say, oh, he's taking them, and then you forget, that's how all these things happen. So most times, if you are safety conscious, you always have to call. And we have made it like it has always, like when like now my daughter is old enough to help me sometimes, like, and I'm always calling, like, it happened one time. She was supposed to help me to pick the little brother, and I was like, calling. I was like, Do you have him? She was like, oh, I forgot, but it was before the time we were supposed to collect him. And then I was calling again at the time, like 5 minutes past. She said, I can hear the voice in the background. Yeah, they are together. So that's how you help each other. Like if you have an agreement that somebody should carry your child for you, once the time is getting close to when the person is supposed to pick the child, when this person is supposed to drop the child, whatever the arrangement, call. You remember we have this agreement, you say, yeah. And then when it's that time, give it like 5 minutes, call again, and say, something like that. I remember that, have you gotten the child? How was it? So that the person you are safe, you are calm. Not that you will not assume that the person they has taken and the person has forgotten, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So another thing I wanted to talk about today is did you guys see what I posted on Telegram? They said something happened in Lagos, and there was a lot of people that didn't make it. So that's my problem with people that make prophecies, because this one is one person that is popular. You want to hold on to it, but you forget that so many things is also happening. Like this able media is also someone, nobody's going to claim that one. Like this one that happened in Lagos today, I shared the video how they are carrying the people. Why don't you say you saw it? I feel like there's a place for everything. Even if you have that kind of thing, or you thought of something like that, you have to go and try to meet them and find how to meet them, or allow them to grieve. As I feel like it's absolutely not in the right place to be doing all that one now. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is the video of the people that are bringing money that they have stashed away, because they say they are redesigning the naira. By the way, I don't even have any opinion about whether it is the right time or whether it's the right time, because I feel like the currency is always the prerogative of those people in leadership. Whenever they decide they want to change the currency, it's always up to them, whatever they are doing. I remember since I've been in Europe, they have changed the 10 naira, 10 euro, they've changed the 20 euro, I don't even know, I think 5 euros. They've changed them, and normally they don't give any deadline. You just kind of pay with the old ones you have, and at some point, it's always going to be a legal tender. So, but anytime you want a new one, you want to withdraw a new one, you'll be getting the new one. You'll not be able to get the old one again. So eventually the old one will phase out. That's how they do it here. But it's a constant thing. But this one, they say people are stashing money away. Let me even share this video with you guys. Just a second. So, they've been cashing people with a lot of money. I don't know. Like, I don't have any background story to this money. But the main important thing is that people have stashed away money in sock away in different rooms. And because the naira is being redesigned, they are bringing them out now. So that, because it's not going to be legal again, Yeah. Yeah. Well, as by the time it happened to me, yeah, telephone was not so more, like there was not all this Wi-Fi, all this in videos and all these distractions. I wonder how it will be for young people today, that you just be pressing phone up and down. The distraction these days is unbelievable. The distraction is massive. In our time we had little, not so much things to distract us. Then the telephone was just about azar, you pick your call, and then SMS, SMS, sometimes the SMS will not even go. Sometimes it will take one day before the SMS will go, and the internet was always Wi-Fi at home. You have to plug it in, something like that. And so most times you didn't have internet on the go. You have to get home and you have to have internet where you live, that kind of a thing. But gradually, we now have 24 hours internet. Even in Nigeria, you now have data. You don't have to have a particular computer. Like, the change is coming, and I wonder how it will be for the people who are growing today. You know, yeah. I don't know that there's anything you can tell anybody about, what has happened. I don't even know that there's any words for consolation or anything. Um, you know, So our brother is saying this particular video is an old video and that he has seen the video before. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for. I didn't know that. Obviously, he said that naira we are seeing is an old video that it was used also in 2019 for propaganda. So I don't know. Yeah, but the video is saying that people brought out their cash. But yeah, I'm seeing also people, somebody that they caught with a lot of money in cash. So I think a lot of people are going to be trying to come out with the cash that they have. So I shared a lot of video with you guys about the bingos and their activities, and how they are being apprehended, and it's a shame what is going on. And I think yeah, we did everything we needed to do. We spoke up, we sang it, but it was going to happen, and we cannot have any control over it. So there's no need to kind of how will I put it, do any kind of pity party. It is what it is. They did the time, they did the crime, they should face the time. So that's just what I'm going to say at this point. And those people that are supporting them, I don't know what they want to benefit, but we will see. We will see. So I don't want to be, showing all those videos. I just put them on Telegram. I put them on WhatsApp. I'll try to put some of the videos also on Telegram so you have it. And I put the video of the incident that happened in Lagos on the Telegram channel. So yeah, I just kind of shared it from Instablog, so you can also see the videos of what is going on. Yeah. So yeah, in all, they said, like, there's this popular song that says blessed be the Lord. I mean, in a time like this, we that we believe, and we that are brought up as Christians, um you know you just kind of fall back to the belief system, to help you to cope, and it becomes something that can help you in a time like this. I don't know that if you are not having any belief system, anything to give you any form of hope, um you know how you are going to cope, how you are going to cope. So uh, I don't know. Yeah, I think that one of the things that gives me strength in difficult times is always when I'm able to go back to the belief that I was brought up with. It gives me some kind of strength. Our brother is saying that Professor Moalo, I think he was a former CBN governor or vice, I don't know, you know. So that people stash money away for bad purposes. Yeah. Yeah. So my people, what you can take away from this video is be safety conscious if you have children, especially, and if somebody is going to help you to carry your children, to pick up your children, call them on the phone shortly before the time you agreed on and shortly after the time. Maybe you can give them a half an hour time before the time you agreed on, and 5 minutes after the time the person is supposed to pick the child. So that way you have it balanced out, and you make sure you are able to hear your voice, the voice of your child also at this point, so you have a focused mind that, okay, they have picked the child. And in case if the person forgets, because it's very common, and I don't know how it can be with all this distraction going on these days, so you can just have that one out of the way. That, and then when you are building your house, uh consider the things that your wealth help you, enable you to bring into your home, and consider that you put some safety measures on it. You understand? Consider safety at all times. And your doors, there are, you can always, that latch is very easy to put, but those knobs that are security, for security, may be more expensive, but always have a latch very high where the children cannot come in. You understand? And the same thing with things that can bring fire. I forgot to mention, like matches, like lighter. Make sure you put it away from where the children will reach. You understand? Just always be security conscious when you have children. For example, when you are cooking in the kitchen, don't put the food in the first row. Always put them inside, because sometimes the children will come, they will, grab something that is cooking, because they don't know. But if you put it in the one that inside, their hand will not reach there. So that's the safety consciousness I'm talking about. So there are many ways you can be safety conscious. So always think about safety. And when you are building, and you are building a home, you are designing a home, be safety conscious. The things you use to decorate your house, it can be a risky something. When you are using glass up and down, glass chair, glass table, glass plates, you don't know that it can cause a problem for you. It's just God that is saving us. And you put slippery tiles everywhere, and in your bathroom to your living room, everywhere tiles, tiles, tiles. By the time small thing, somebody is swinging. Many people are wasting because of all these unnecessary decorations. So be safety conscious. That's what I'm saying. And when you are building, don't be putting step everywhere, because all those steps lead to fall risk every time. And you don't know how many people are falling in all this staircase they are putting up and down, steep on smooth stairs that they are building everywhere. And one step you miss, is finished. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Yeah, I mean, like when I'm thinking about Lord, plant of my feet higher ground, I'm thinking motivational. Like when I'm being motivational, when I want to motivate myself, and when I'm hopeful for something. But when something like this happen, I have some other songs that come to mind, like Abide With Me. Abide with me, fast was the evening sky, the darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide, when other helpers fail and comfort flee. O thou who changest not, abide with me. I fear no foe, with thee at hands to bless, as joy grow dim, his glories pass away, change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changeth not, abide with me. And there's another song. This song was what I used to console myself when I lost my maternal uncle. I've still not overcome his passing. Every time I think about him, I can't believe he has gone. And I always sing this song always to console myself, And I'm someone that I've dealt with a lot of people passing, and especially very early in my life, like I told you guys, my dad, and then later on my mom. And so my faith has always been something that I always fall back onto. So even now that I've grown up and I've come to so much understanding, but I still keep that hope I get from the faith that I was brought up in. And this song I wanted to share with you guys is this song. It says, "Blessed be your name in the land that is plentiful, where your dreams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name." It's like, blessed be the name of the Lord, when everything is going fine, when when I'm in the land that is plentiful, blessed be the Lord. I don't know if you know this song. Like, I think it's an American song. I like the rhythm also, blessed be the name in the land that is plentiful, where your streams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when I'm found in the desert place, though I walk through the wilderness. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll stand back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I'm here to say, oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the glorious name. Blessed be the name when the sun is shining down on me, when the world is all as it should be. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name on the road that is marked with suffering, when there is pain in the offering. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour on us, turn back to praise you. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the glorious name. It goes on and say, you give and take away. You give and take away. Still my heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. You give and take away. The song is very rich. The song is saying, blessed be the Lord in the land that is plentiful, when I have everything I need, when everything is going as it should be. Blessed be the name of the Lord. But blessed be the name of the Lord also, when I'm like in a desert, when there's like darkness all around me. Blessed be the name of the Lord, when there is pain in the offering, when there is a suffering in the and pain. Blessed be the name, and finally saying, you give and you take away. You give and take away. But my heart will choose to say, blessed be the name of the Lord. So I mean, it's a very, this is a song that when you listen to the song, it kind of brings tears in your eyes, because the song. Yeah, Geno, exactly, Matt Redmond, yeah. I will share the song on the WhatsApp group after this program. So that song is, and the beating and everything, it just kind of catapults you into a realm that you begin to know that none of them was in our hands. It's not because we were good or we were better. Life and chance happened to us. And that's why you give thanks, that you may come into a place where your heart will say, it is well with my soul. It is well. you know. And the way Germans will sing it is like Mia is wohl. You know, they just kind of play on that melody. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my Lord thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Yeah, thank you so much, my people. I think you know, if we have faith, if we believe, a time like this, your faith comes in handy. You know, nobody knows it all. And at the end of the day, we have no control of anything at the end of the day. We can only do so much. We can only, you know, try so much, you know. But in the end, you know, God will take control of everything, you know. Hallelujah, someone. Ọdịmma, 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 ọdịrị obi mma. Budo dịka osimiri n'elu n'ụzọ, mgbe nsogbu bịara kebili, n'ọnọdụ ma ọbụla imewo ka m si ọ dị mma, ọ dịrị obi mma. Thank you so much, my people. See you in another video. Bye for now.